Can you build up an apiary using only swarm caught bees? Welcome to Swabies, No Bees Bought British Beekeeping. Okay, rewind. This is a question that I ended up asking myself right at the very beginning, before I'd even caught my first swarm. Was it actually even possible to build up an apiary only using wild bees from around the area? Could I do it without, which seemed to be the normal, buying them off of the internet? So this is something I set out to do. And to be perfectly honest, I was pleasantly surprised, and it led on to much more than I was anticipating. So this is going to be my quick rundown of how I've gone about gathering all these swarms. So welcome to May 26th, 2023. This is my brand new WBC hive that has nothing in apart from foundation. I actually added a little bit of lemongrass oil onto a kitchen towel in an organza bag, and I put the hive out, and it sat there with the lemongrass in it for 6 days, and then this swarm turned up. I had no idea that this was going to work as well as it did. All the YouTube videos I've seen, they state that this could take weeks, months. It may never happen at all, but for it to happen within 6 days, I was quite keen thereafter to try and get more and build up the apiary from then on as naturally as possible without buying any bees at all. So as you can see from these few clips, I put out hives. I've made some long hives, and the bees just kept flocking to them. And although I say it's taken 3 years to get to this point, the real expansion only took place over 1 year. Year one, I finished the season with 2 colonies. Year two, I finished the season with 5 colonies. And then year three, last year, I finished the season with 16 colonies. And I actually gave another colony away. I could have had a lot more colonies, but my ability to keep track of queens and virgins in new hives was lacking, sadly. Okay, so somebody's going to turn around and say, well, you're living in the countryside. We're a mile and a half from the nearest shop and 4.5 miles from the nearest small town. But once I realised that catching swarms wasn't completely impossible, I actually started looking further afield. And some of the best colonies I've picked up have been from villages that have been 4, 5, 6 miles away. It is worth noting that not all the colonies have come from wild swarms. Some of the colonies have come from swarms that have split from the 5 colonies that I had here the year before. And I think even a couple of colonies have come from splits that I've actually made myself, taking swarm cells out. Okay, so the question is, where did all these swarms come from? Well, they come from just about anywhere and everywhere. It's the time of the year that dictates whether or not you're actually going to find swarms. And it was very, very quiet here in 2025 until all of a sudden it wasn't. And it was literally like an explosion. The 5 hives that I had as resource hives here in 2025, they just blew up. And I went from 0 swarms to 2 swarms in 1 day, and then it just went silly for about a month. There was a week or so where I was dealing with swarms almost every day. Sometimes I was dealing with 2 or 3 swarms in 1 day. This brings me on to another good point. I put an advert in Facebook asking if anybody had any swarms, if they saw any or needed any collected. And I had 2 responses to that ad. One from a big house that had multiple chimneys with multiple bees, colonies living in them, and they were producing swarms every year. So they wanted me to go around there and put some bait hives out, which I gladly did. And since then I've actually put an apiary full-time apiary over there, and then there was another house, a much smaller house, where they had colonies living in. Let's get this right: the soffit, the chimney, and the wall cavity. So they had three. They have three colonies living in that small house, and that was producing multiple swarms a year. So I picked up a couple of swarms from over there, and I have bait boxes or swarm boxes permanently set up over there. Uh, these these swarms are really important. In my mind, they're really important because they're unmanaged. They've been unmanaged for a long time, and I know this for a fact. I think that'll do for this video. In the next video, I'll explain the two potential downfalls plus the big elephant in the room. And if you're still watching, thank you very much.